Aloha big wave trading family. It's going to be another manic video lesson because once again, just way too many long signals. So let's jump right into it. The first signal I want to look at is APTI. This stock used to be a CanSlim quality stock at one point. I don't know when because I don't have it up right now, so I can't show you on the chart. But it's no longer a CanSlim quality stock, but that's where this thing was initially flagged. So it initially flagged being a CanSlim quality stock, but it did show up in my tertiary scan that looks for any stock up on above average volume with green bop. So on that end, it passed all that. You got the bullish candle over candle with the full body candle price bar, the pocket pivot point signal and above average volume. So with the support level clearly right here, I want to get long APTI limit order 1893. First cut loss, a move below 1816. And then for me, maybe me only, not for everyone. If you don't understand the asset allocation risk reward ratios, you're going to have to figure it out on your own or ask me. But I don't like losing money. I don't like losing more than $100 on the speculative long position, $200 on a quality position, and I'm basically running a $500,000 accounts and all the different various accounts that I have. Should I have over $1 million at this point in my life? Yeah, but you know what? We make personal mistakes. Sometimes in life, in my 20s, was full of personal life mistakes, not trading mistakes, thankfully. So APTI, like I said, you want to just move the capital around to where you know your losses should be. So 1816 and move below 1816 is my first cut loss. 1745 will be my final cut loss. This is only going to be 0.5% of my account capital because it was in the tertiary scan and it's not extended, so that's 0.5% of my account capital. The next new long position, LPSN. LPSN, how many times am I going to say that, was in my perfect speculator low price stock scan. It's above $10, so it's a bit higher quality than the rest, and there's a nice uptrend. Looks like CHGG, looks like SEDG, so it's kind of like the same kind of pattern. So I really like this one. But LPSN was also in my new 52-week high scan on above average volume, so that's confirmation of that. LPSN, 1% for perfect speculator, 1% for new high. It should be a 2% long position, but it is slightly extended from the 20-day moving average, so we won't take it. But once again, we got that pocket pivot point signal since it's at the 10-day moving average. We have the increasing BOP, the above average volume, and the candle over candle price bar. So LPSN, I want to get long at 1490. First cut loss, 1423. Maybe your only cut loss. 1440 I mean, but 1423 if you want to lose this low bar right here. So this will be my first cut loss level. Everybody else, if you're going to use two levels, you might want to use this one, 1440, and then the final cut loss level, 1310. But no matter what, 1423 is going to be my first half, 1310 on the final position, and move below each of those levels. I will be out of LPSN. And once again, the tier stop thing goes. If that first cut loss level fails and the catalyst of either green bop or a good looking chart pattern goes away and it sells off on heavier volume, I'm raising all or half of my stocks up to the next low a day, whatever is higher than 1310. Now, if it violates 1310, we don't have to worry about it. I'll be out of LPSN. I won't be in it, but that's the way I'm going to play LPSN. So 1% of my account capital into LPSN, 1490, 1423, 1310 for me. 1440 is what I recommend everyone else for your first stop loss, especially if you're taking a full position. Which I am. I'm going to take a full 1%. I should have enough capital. And in fact, these positions are so small that even after today's session with the stops that got hit, I should be raising cash and not raising more equity overall. So LPSN, 1%, 1490. And then the next new long position, CTLT. I think CTLT used to be a perfect speculator quality scan from the November lows to the recent highs. Maybe it just missed it because you need to have a previous 100% move from the lows to highs. So it just misses it. If the stock is at $48, it would be up 100% from the 52-week low to 52-week high and would, in fact, make my perfect speculator scans. As it is, it doesn't have a previous 100% move, but it does have that previous 75% move. So it's a pre-perfect speculator scan quality name. Still, it didn't show up in any of the scans, so I'm not going to give it any asset allocation based on that. It was in my tertiary scan that looks for stocks up on above average volume and growing green bop, so it made it there. So we got that pocket pivot point signal. So if you look at APTI, if you look at LPSN, And if you look at CTLT, you're basically looking at 3 of the same signals. So CTLT, 26 or 42.16, the limit. Once again, it's extended from the 20-day moving average. So I don't want to, in fact, I think that I have this listed on the side as 0.25% since it's extended. But, you know, I'm going to look at my pre-perfect speculator scans. If I deduce that it is a pre-perfect speculator scan quality name, that 1% will go with the 0.5% for being in the tertiary scan, and we'll make it a total of 0.75% position. And then even if you go half to 0.25% to 0.75, we're at 0.5. So no matter what, I'm looking at putting 0.25% of my account capital to 0.75% of my account capital into CTLT. 42.16. First cut loss, 41.07. Final cut loss all the way down here, 38.56. Fails 38.56 will be gone. Maybe you just use the only cut loss level here if you go long 42.16. I cannot tell you what your max pain point is. I don't know what kind of loss makes you tick. I know what kind of loss makes me tick. I know that I like to give stocks room to run, and I'll move stops up along the way. I don't know how vigilant everyone else is on their stops. I don't hang around on anything that doesn't move right, like HDP, for instance. Didn't work right. My first final cut loss was back here. I moved it immediately all the way up to this low here, and if it violates that low, that's it. Same with OSUR. Moved it all the way up to this low. I don't mess around. I don't like being long weak stock. So CTLT, 42.16, 41.07, 38.56. Then for the ad signals, they're all pretty speculative, but I love their longer term chart patterns. ZGNX, EVRI, and INAP have beautiful longer term chart patterns going back the previous years. So you'll see you got that huge move overall in the patterns, and everyone is consolidating, trending lower, moving sideways on below average volume. INAP is finally curling off those lows with the bullish candle over candle price bar on heavier volume. Still pretty strong green bop even though it went the other way. So really quick, we're running out of time. INAP 516. First cut loss, 486. Final cut loss on this ad signal, 433. So that's going to be pretty clear cut there. Check the website for the asset allocation. I don't think I wrote this down all very well. INAP, Perfect Speculator 1, extended 0.5. So this should be 0.5% of the account capital into INAP. Wait, that is wrong. 1% Perfect Speculator, it's an ad signal, 0.5%, extended 0.25%. So 0.25% of my account capital into INAP, 516, 486, 433. EVRI, this is the one that's a little different. Perfect Speculator scan, stock only, wasn't confirmed anywhere else. It's an ad signal, so it's half to 0.5%, and even though it's slightly above the 20-day moving average, I do not consider this an extended stock, as it's right there by the 20, it's right there by the 50, and is pulling back on light volume and bouncing off support that's right at this pivot point breakout area right here. So it's at multiple support levels. So even though it's slightly extended, I do not consider it quote extended. So EVRI, going long, 0.5% of my account capital. Limit order 793. I'm willing to pay up to 798 for it. If it does gap above 798, I'll change my limit order from 793 to 798. But since it is slightly extended, I'll stick to 793. First cut loss, 771. Right there. Final cut loss, did I give it all the way to 681? No, I knew I wouldn't do that. 729 right here. That low right there. Couldn't even find it. 10-2, so 729. Now for me, I'm going to probably do 771, 681. Don't do that. 771, final cut loss if you take it, 729. And then ZGNX, this is the most risky of them all, but according to the scans, this is a Perfect Speculator quality scan, was in my green bot for 20-day scan and my max green bot for 5-day scan. That's 3%, it's an ad signal, it's halved, that's 1.5%, and it's extended, that's 0.75%. But really, this is more risky than any of them, it just was in more scans. So if your account capital, if you put 0.75% of your account capital in this stock, and it doesn't move higher immediately, you probably need to use the first cut loss level, 37.25, the final one here at 35.65, limit order at 39. All right, everyone, we're reaching the 10-minute point of this video, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll see you in the chat room in the pre-market on Thursday. Aloha.